And welcome in, everybody, to the Trace Amigos Talk Show. I'm Santa Tom, where I'm joined every week by Dino, a.k.a. Tactical Santa, and the Chief, Bearded Chief, Steve. How are you guys doing today, Steve?
Full of joy. Full of joy. Looking forward to this. I wanted to listen to a little bit more of that music, though, because I was like, yeah.
Trying to bring a little more excitement into the show.
Yeah.
Dino.
Doing good, man. Today was my first day back to work. I had a long vacation. It took a lot of energy for me to get out of bed and go to work this morning. But overall, an awesome day. I'm so excited, man. I cannot wait to talk to Tim from Valhalla, man. I am so stoked for this one, man. I've been just love his products. Can't wait to actually talk to him and see what he's all about, man.
Absolutely. Guys, hey, make sure you tune in every week. We got some exciting shows coming up. We got not just beard product owners. We have some reviewers, content reviewers coming on. We have a special guest next month. He's a international professional Santa Claus with a glorious beard and just a motivational type speaker, travels all over the world. Really looking forward to just a lot of different avenues that we're going down, and really trying to get some special guests in here that just kind of change things up from the normal. So I hope you guys continue following. And if you guys don't have anything, I'm gonna go ahead and welcome everybody in. All right, guys, we got Kev. I normally see Amber. Amber was right on his heels. Kev and Amber, they will be coming on the show. Get ready, coming up here shortly. We are looking forward to having them both on. They just mean so much to the bearded community, guys. We appreciate you. Jacob, same with Jacob. We're going to get him on the show. Absolutely love everything he does. Hope your son's doing well, brother. There she is. Ronnie, the better half of Flaming Beard Co. Go check them out, guys. If you haven't checked out Flaming Beard Co., it's absolutely amazing. Their new carrier oil blend is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amber, hey Warren, what's up, brother? Old faithful John Covington, how you doing, man?
What's up, John?
So good to see you. Hey, Mad Donkeys, what's up, Larry and Sarah?
OH.
You guys. Frickin' frack.
Frickin' frack.
Another couple that's just a staple in the community. Hey, Robert. How you doing, brother? I gotta get this sound effects board, man.
Hello, murderer.
Right. Toll Booth Willie.
Hey, Toll Booth Willie.
What's up, brother? Andy, I'll tell you what, Tim's got a crowd in here tonight. Right. What's going on, Andy?
Andy?
Let's see here. What's going on, Alan? It's a good old Santa in the community. I just love the diversity we have, that come on this show.
Right?
Black Manor, how you doing?
Black Manor, Renee.
Renee is another one that we would love to have on the show. Hint, hint, Renee. There he is. Oh, Tim Stewart.
Hey, Tim.
On a Rocky Top Beard Company. Hey, Jordan, the bearded elf. I love that. I saw that on Dan Cease live the other day. I saw that. I love that. Hey, Corey.
What's up, Corey?
Corey, I got my 500 in today.
Corey's kind of, man, he's kind of become such a mentor, man, in the community. He just what a good guy. Antonio.
Hey.
All right. Corey says, I hope you're all having a great evening. Happy New Year to y'all. Y'all look so sharp tonight. Hey, Chief's the one that looks sharp. Let me get him over here on the big screen right here. Get Chief in his old dapper outfit here.
It's a little warm.
All right. Yes, Warren, his wall. He's got a wall of Scallies. He's got a wall of the shirts. Dino, help me out. Dixon's. He's got a wall of Nikes. Yeah, And I think that is everybody. I know there will be more jumping on here, guys. But Chief, why don't you tell us about what you got going on this week?
Well, just real quick. You know what? I'm going to hold off on the gender reveal till later on. One of you guys reminded me, because you know what we forgot last week was the gender reveal of my grandbaby. So we'll talk about that here in a little while. Daughter's car had to go to the shop again, and it was like $1,300 last week. She got home, the check engine light came back on. So I went a little Karen at the dealership, guys. So it went in today, and guess what? It was the part that they put in that was bad. So she's out $0, and they gave her a rental for the weekend. So I feel bad about being a Karen for 10 or 15 minutes, but I was like, you know, typical dad, right? But other than that, good week. I got my 500 in, Corey, if you're still watching. I did 500 curls, 500 triceps. I think I even did a little bit more than that today, and I'm hurting right now. So other than that, I'm good, brothers.
Dino, what you got going on this week, sir?
You know, I am just back to the grind. I had a week off. You know, I got to hang out. You know, when you went out delivering the presents on Christmas, you know, I was guarding the North Pole with Elf Team 6. You know, so we were on kind of guard duty. So this past week, I was just kind of hanging out with Elf Team 6 and, you know, drinking hot cocoa and reminiscing about the awesome journey that Santa Tom took and how fast he got the packages out. You know, on Christmas, he's always on time. Santa Tom never misses deliveries. He's always there. He's always on time, getting them out efficient. So yeah, just relaxing. Unfortunately, back to work, but you know, life got to do the adult thing. So yep.
He looks good for working all night, though.
He does.
Yeah,
he does. Yep.
What's going on, Twitch? Good to see you, brother.
Brother Twitch.
Twitch is another one we really want on the show. He just lives on the other side of the United States, where the time frame's all way behind us.
Right.
But guys, don't forget to ask your questions in the chat for Tim as we get ready to welcome him on. Tim is the owner of Valhalla Beard and Body. I'm pretty new. Toward the end of the year, I purchased some of his products. And guys, I'm going to tell you what, it is definitely becoming a staple in my 2025 routine, because, and I have no bones about saying that. What an awesome carrier blend in his oil. I haven't tried any of the other products, which I'm getting ready to make some orders on that. But the oil blend is absolutely wonderful. The scent profiles are just right up there, guys. So just to highly encourage you. Wayne, we still got other people jumping on here. Tim is just bringing in all kinds of folks. Alan. Dino doing the stewardess thing while I'm talking. Hey, Blake. All right, guys. Well, I say without further ado, let's bring the man of the hour in. Guys, help us welcome in Tim from Valhalla Beard and Body.
What's up, Tim?
How you doing, guys?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Man.
Excited.
I like the Dino White, the Vanna White movement he had going on with the stuff. It was great.
What's up, brother?
How are you guys doing?
Dan C popping in and say hello. What's going on, Dan?
C, what's happening,
Dan
man?
C's in here. What's up, Dan? What's up, everybody in the chat?
It's awesome, man. It's great to see all the people in the chat there. It's cool.
It's all for you, man.
That's it.
Right.
Oh, I love it. I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the Tres Amigos, brother. We like to start the show out with a little this and that, kind of break the ice a little bit. And some of these questions are kind of dull and boring, but some of them are a little weird and kooky. So if you're ready, we could do this. You ready?
I'm all in, buddy.
Okay. New Year's Eve just came, right? Would you rather be Times Square on New Year's Eve, or would you rather be in the Macy's Day Parade?
Are those my only two choices?
That's your only two choices.
Oh shit! Those both have people.
Lots of people. Peoply.
Gee.
Very peoply.
I'd have to. Oh man, I'd have to say the parade, and then I would make it so the float took me away.
Right. I always wondered.
I'd cut the lines, and then the float could lift me up and take me away from all the people.
That would be cool. I always wondered. I don't ever see like bathrooms or anything, and there's thousands of people on the street. That would be a concern of mine. You know.
Yeah. Just the people alone is a concern of mine.
And just bumping into people. And the cold. Ugh. Okay.
I get anxiety going to Costco.
I get anxiety driving through Pittsburgh, brother. No kidding. Easy one here. Text or call?
Man, see, it depends on the circumstance. So I'm still kind of, if I'm at work, I prefer call. I need to talk to somebody. I need to hear it because you could hear bullshit in their voice.
Right.
True. Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, Santa. I already screwed up my what I said I wasn't going to do.
He's going to fit in perfect. He's going to be on the naughty list with Chief and I.
That's right.
Yeah, we're on the permanent naughty list.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder for somebody to BS when you hear their voice. So I'm kind of like old school like that.
Okay, I like that. Next one. I don't know how much TV you watch, but American Idol or The Voice, and I've got a strong opinion on this one. So go.
Well, I've seen American Idol. I don't know a lot about The Voice except the Tool bag isn't on there. That who's the guy from Idol?
The mean one. Simon Cowell.
Simon, yeah. He's a Tool, so it would probably be The Voice.
He's
unless he's on that now. I don't know.
No, I don't think they'll ever bring him on. But I love The Voice, man. And my dad used to watch it, and he would call his sister and just rah, rah, I can't believe rah, 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 So when he passed away, I kind of picked up that torch, and like Monday nights, I think it was Tuesday nights, something weird had happened. I'd boop, 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 boop. Can you believe? So I kind of carried on my pop's torch with The Voice, and I still watch it.
Nice.
Most annoying instrument.
Ooh.
Oh man, I probably jeez. I probably the tambourine.
That's a good one. I was going to think the tuba.
Yeah, that could be. It could be. Yeah, that could be annoying. But I think the tambourine, just because there's kind of no talent involved either.
The correct answer to that is any instrument I'm playing, because I would be horrible playing anything.
Me
would
too.
be the most annoying thing ever. Yeah.
Oh, I have zero musical talent whatsoever.
Okay. You just won the lottery. What's the first thing you're buying?
Does it have to be buying, or is it doing something with the money?
You've got dumb money to spend. What are you buying?
I would need to get all the family taken care of first, so then I know how much I have left to buy.
Fair enough.
And family is probably just my mom, because my siblings, I probably wouldn't give them anything, and then my wife's family. So I would have to, I would dole out that cash first, and then
sharing the wealth.
$1 billion. $1 billion.
I'd have 999 million left.
It's so hard to spend that much money, though, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Okay, This one's kind of funny. It involves all four of us. Okay, there's a zombie apocalypse coming. Who of the four of us is going to last the longest?
I mean, the easy answer is me, but because but Dino's probably a sharper aim than I am. I know, Steve, you're a veteran and stuff, but Dino lives this every day, and with those Nikes, man,
he doesn't want to get them dirty, though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I got boots. I'm good. Muck boots. I love muck boots.
I've got Hokas for every day, so I've got track running shoes, man. Those are That's my everyday Ric Flair wear there. This is I got the Hokas get 'em done wear too.
Okay. He's got the bird eye on his tactical shooting. So
He does. So yeah, so he would last longer than all three of us.
But see, there's the caveat though. I had the five bypasses, so my stamina, my durability is not like you
you
guys.
see?
You know?
we have to have those things put in there. So I mean, if we go off of that,
Yeah.
it'd probably be me until my gout kicked in, and then I'd be screwed. So
I don't have
it
to run
depends on the
fast.
circumstance.
I don't have to run fast, but I have to run faster than you.
That's right.
Oh,
Okay,
we
last
were talking
one.
about bears coming after us.
Yeah.
That's the answer to
Zombies.
bears.
Zombie bears.
I've got some
They're
good
bears.
bludgeoning instruments too. So if I had to
Yes.
get close quarter combat, I think I'm pretty good there.
I like
know,
a
we're
sharky.
We're all forgetting Santa Tom though. He's got the sleigh, man. He's got the reindeers. He's got Elf Team 6, man. He's got all that. I think he's gonna
Kevin,
outlast all of us.
He'll be in the air. That's
I
true.
appreciate you, Kevin. Kev says Santa Tom's a sleeper.
That's right.
Okay, last one, and it's a serious one. If you had the entire world's attention, laptops, TVs, billboards, anything for 20 seconds, what would you say to the entire world if you had that attention?
I did think about this a little bit. Not to drag the show down, which I don't want to, but something that's very close to my heart. I would probably say, for people to think about the choices that they make, like on a New Year's Eve or at a party or after a round of golf, that getting behind the wheel, drunk has consequences. And, being a recipient of it, losing my dad, I would just say as a living proof, it could destroy somebody's family that didn't even have to make that choice, that weren't even involved in that choice. So if you could think about that before you do it and decide whether it's worth it. And, when you could easily call an Uber these days or call a friend or, whatever, that would probably be what I would say.
Yep.
Tim, that is a perfect answer, man.
Yes,
Perfect.
it is.
Love it. That is this and that portion of the show is done.
Nice.
We have a couple questions here real quick before we get over to Dino here. Chris is such a jokester. I'm pretty sure he's being serious, but while you guys were talking about America's Got Talent, he said his wife was on America's Got Talent.
That's awesome.
And Andy says, love Valhalla. Any chance we're getting cologne, lotion, and beard conditioner?
Not in 2025.
Fair enough.
If I did this full time, it would probably be a different story. I just don't have time to keep up with what I make right now. So I know how to make cologne. I made some stuff for my daughter, and but yeah, I just don't have time right now.
Totally understandable. And Jim says, can't say enough good things about Tim and Valhalla Beard and Body. Absolutely love your products, brother.
I appreciate it, Jim. Jim's been such a great supporter, and Andy too. Just a lot of people, man, a lot of repeat people. That just makes my day when I see the orders come through. It's just awesome.
Right.
Appreciate that, Jim.
Dino, what you got for Tim?
So, big question for you is, so what made you go with the Viking theme? Is that family tree, or what guided you that way?
I've always been obsessed with Norse culture, Norse mythology. Whether it's the TV shows, video game. I'm still play video games at 40, going to be 49 years old.
Right.
Just because I appreciate the art to the video games, that how far the animation and graphics and stuff have come.
Right.
Realism. But I'm a big God of War fan, so when they did God of War, Ragnarok, and just bringing that through the Norse culture. It's just so cool. And I
Right.
just thought it was, an easy way, something that I really enjoy. I was kind of tossed between that and an Arizona theme.
Hmm.
Because I've lived in Arizona now longer than I did in New York.
Right.
And, I just love it out here. And I think I could have came up with a lot of different profiles to go
Right.
with Arizona themed stuff. And it probably would have been a little bit different. I took a risk because there are a lot of different Viking type theme things out there.
Right.
A lot of things tie back to bald and bearded with Viking
Right.
things, but I just love
Right.
that Norse culture. And I thought, man, there's a lot of opportunities to come up with names of things and cool stuff that,
Right.
cool designs to go with it and all that. So,
Right. Yeah. That is one thing. Your designs, your artwork, man, your products look really cool with the artwork. You can tell there's a lot of attention to detail when the artwork is out. Nothing's plain Jane. It's always got some really eye-catching to it, So
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's relatively new, probably to last a year ago, October, when I started dabbling with the AI stuff.
Right.
I think AI is going to ruin the world like in Terminator, but I got to jump on board while I can right now.
Right.
While they're
Right.
still friendly.
That's right.
Right. So being you went with a Viking theme, what's your favorite football team?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers. Okay. All right. I thought maybe you were going to say Minnesota Vikings because I didn't know if it was going to ring through the whole thing. But yeah.
I could never get into the purple.
No.
No, it was I grew up in New York,
Right.
Rochester, New York, and my dad said, I think I was about 7, so about 83, right at the end of Bradshaw's run.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad said, "Hey, if you're gonna watch football with me, pick a team, and you gotta stick with it." And
Right.
so I went with the Steelers because I love the black and yellow, and
Yep.
I love that they were the only team that had the symbol on the one side of their helmet.
Yep.
So the
Yep.
uniqueness of it is what drew me to it. And man, I suffered in those 80s with some real crappy quarterbacks.
Right. Right.
Kind of like where we're at right now.
Right. So since you're repping Vikings and Valhalla's the thing, do you remember a show probably about 7-8 years ago called Deadliest Warrior? Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to get your take on this because you're sitting with two Greeks who are Spartans, and the Spartan ended up winning. What was your take? Did you think the Viking kind of got ripped off? That he should have went to the finals and won, or what do you think if the Viking and the Spartan would have went head to head? What do you think would have happened?
Oh man, it's tough because those Spartans, those guys were fight to the death guys too. I think it depends on the Norsemen that you put out there,
Right?
Because you get those crazy berserkers that were lights out. They're still kind of, whether they were myth or not. I think they were just some fearless warriors that had a couple screws loose. But the Spartans seemed like they were, like when you watch 300, those guys were more of a calculated nut jobs.
Yeah,
they just not nut jobs. They were just badasses. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. It would definitely be interesting.
Fair enough, man. It would be cool to watch. Yep.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yep. So, who is your favorite musical entertainer? What's your favorite music, and who is your favorite band?
It's kind of, I would put it up to between. It's different now, but with Linkin Park was my favorite band before Chester Bennington. Just his because the lyrics of his music go. If you sit there and listen to it, I related a lot to the darkness he lived in, and and so there was a lot of that that drew me to his style. I love the screaming, just the energy, the anger. I mean, when I hit my heavy bag, that anger and that energy is out. And the other one is Parkway Drive. because there's just so much. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of stuff. Not as dark in the lyrical
Right.
side of it, but just the music, the way what it brings on to me, the feel of it
Right.
is pretty amazing. So I would say it's between Lincoln Park and Parkway Drive.
So with you saying Parkway Drive, have you ever been to a Parkway Drive concert?
No,
Have you ever seen them
I
live?
don't go to
So
concerts. Yeah.
Deeply.
quick little story. I actually worked a Parkway Drive concert,
Oh,
and I had to work barricade. So the crowd was a little crazy. And I remember the manager of the band coming up, and he had this big inflatable raft. And I'm like, what do we got this raft here for? What's going on? He goes, well, they're going to throw it out in the audience, and it's not going to be like crowd surfing like they're used to. They're all going to get in this raft, and they're going to crowd surf in this raft. And this
the whole
raft,
band?
no. People can get it. They'll throw it out in the crowd, and I'm like, this raft is going to hold 8 people. I've only got 4 people in the barricade, and he's like, that's what they do. So all night long, we were catching crowd surfers, and this raft would come up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope they're not big dudes in this raft. Let it be all girls. And yeah, so all night long we worked that. So that was pretty crazy, but cool band.
That is pretty awesome.
Yep.
I got to say that is pretty awesome.
Yep. Yep.
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt your little segment, but I was finishing up at the gym today. Disturbed came on, Sound of Silence. And I've listened to that over and over and over again, but I don't know why I was actually listening to the words and the orchestra in the back. And I actually went to the locker room and I was getting changed. And I sat down and I just listened to that whole song. I was like, that's amazing. You know?
Yeah, and it's funny. It's funny that when you say that, that's in my playlist. Like I have an Amazon playlist that's my heavy bag list.
Yeah.
And I always put that at the end because that's my cool down in that song. And almost every time it brings me to tears.
Nice. Yeah.
The way they redid that song is so freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Disturbed is up there with my favorite bands.
Yeah.
But the way they redid that song was just, and Down with the Sickness came out right after 9/11. So
right.
That had me pretty fired up with that song too.
Right.
Tim, it's funny you say that about hitting. Would you say hitting the heavy bag?
Mm-hmm.
You look like kind of like that kind of scrapper kind of like that. I just kind of vision that Irish scrapper. It's kind of especially with your scally on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a big workout routine of mine for probably 25 years. I have a Muay Thai bag, so I can throw kicks now as long as I don't throw my hip out. But no, the heavy bag has been a big part of my workout, my everything, and I kind of grew up kind of violent, getting in fights and stuff all the time. So I haven't been in fight in a long time, thank God. But but no, I just got, my wife's like, what? At one point I had 2 heavy bags before I turned my gym into a soap shop. My wife's like, what do you need 2 heavy bags for? I said, well, I work one and then I throw a kick on the other one. Then I work to the other one. And I go, it's just in case I get into a bar fight. And she goes, well, you don't go to bars. I go, well, it could be a Walmart, it is. So I did have to lose the second bag, but I still got the one. So it's cool.
Blake says he's about to make his first purchase of the year from Valhalla. Good deal, Blake. I'm sure Tim
awesome.
Appreciates that. Alan, Lawn Care, which Alan is a professional Santa as well, like I am. He owns a lawn business, but he's also a professional Santa because I have the mighty Thor tattoo. You guys were talking about Thor on his left arm. First tattoo in 1996.
Oh, wow.
And Kev says, heck, you guys talk about video games. He said he's playing a video game right now.
Attaboy.
And we had, I don't know if he's still in here, but Mr. Lincoln Crum, who will be coming on. He is an international Santa. I'm kind of throwing Santas out there, but it's just, it's a producer's prerogative, I guess. Lincoln Crum, great story, motivational guy. Just looking forward to having him on as well. And then we got Hayden asking, is Tim rocking a Scally?
I rock a Scally almost every day when I go out, for sure. Mostly black. I got black. I got a couple. I can't rock some of the like the peaky hats and stuff. They just I look like a tool. So I stick to the standard.
Right.
Do they fit your head right, or do you have to get a stretcher sometimes? Because I've had some that you buy the same size and it comes in small, so I've had to stretch a couple hats.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
thankfully these are all Boston Scallies. They've all come in pretty good. I
Right.
have to have that form fitting. I don't like the puffiness. That's why I can't do like
Right.
trucker caps and stuff.
Yep.
So these work out nice.
Yeah.
Right.
They're perfect for winter up here in Ohio, man. They keep that heat in really nice.
Yeah, I get about 2 months. I get to wear these consistently
Yeah.
without sweating my balls off with the wool ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, Dino, you good on that segment there?
I just got one last question for you. What is your favorite Viking feast? What food, what feast is for the Viking in you?
Oh, salad. Just kidding. Just kidding.
We're like
um, I don't know. I'm like a steak guy kind of guy. So but not steak. Like I like steaks, but
Right.
I'm talking like a Portillo's, like Italian beef
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
sandwich. That's
Right.
I've
Right.
always got to get something like that. So
Nice.
that or
Nice.
a nice ribeye always does the job.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a tofu ribeye.
Tofu ribeye, tofi.
Yeah.
So Amber's got to buy Kev a heavy bag and have it put out in the shed. So yeah.
I got Alan. I got to show Alan. He's got Thor. I've got Fenrir. So I got the
Nice.
opposite. I got the giant side on my forearm. Just had this sleeve finished up.
Nice. Nice.
So for those of us that aren't familiar, would you say who?
Fenrir.
Fenrir.
He's the bringer of Ragnarok. He's
Okay.
in the mythology. He's actually the son of Loki, Loki and Angrboda. Who Angrboda is a giant, and Loki is a god. So he had relations with Angrboda, and Fenrir, Jormungand, and Hel are the three offspring of Loki. So they're all kind of cast off. So the reason Fenrir, well, I love dogs, number one, more than people, but Fenrir was basically persecuted by the gods because they were afraid of him so much that they bound him that nothing could contain him. So they had their dwarves weave this golden lace that was the only thing that could bind Fenrir until Ragnarok, when he breaks free and basically.
I need to get up on my Norse mythology here.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff, man. They actually, Neil Gaiman has a good book called Norse Mythology, and he reads the stories of the mythology in that book. It's really good. It's a really easy listen. It's about 6 hours if you put it on Audible, and he goes through the story. Stories are just cool. I like listening to them. They're really awesome.
Are you sure it wasn't a golden fleece? Because we got a golden fleece in the chats.
It could be a golden fleece.
Blake wants to know, Mr. Blake Hughes wants to know, what is your best-selling scent?
Man, it was Ragnarok. Look at Steve. That Hogmanay, I had a lot of people begging me to bring that back, and but it was Ragnarok, which is still it's hard to say. I still had that at 1A, 1B on my top favorites, because Rise is 1B. Rise of the Draugrs, another one. But after I did that collaboration with DL Walker for Nidhogger's Malice, man, that scent turned out so freaking awesome. So that's become, there it is right there. That's become a really popular one. I don't know if it's come full circle to take over Ragnarok, but Ragnarok is one of those ones that will always be a favorite for me. I saved it for the like midway through the start of my business, just because I wanted it to be perfect, and I love how that blend came out. But what I have coming up with this Fenrir Breaker of Chains I'm going to do in February. Oh man, I don't want to sound like an asshole or anything. It just turned out so beautiful the way that it blended. I've been tweaking it for months, and it's got some beautiful aquatic type cologne. It's got ginger ale in it. And some people are like, "Oh, ginger ale," but people said that with the grape soda
Yeah.
one too, and that one was pretty nice. But
Right here.
Mhm.
7
oh,
Up,
I love
ginger ale.
ginger ale. Love
Yep.
ginger ale, and it's got some jasmine in it. It's the way it turned out. I really love it. Really love how it turned out. So, but for right now, probably Ragnarok is at the top. If you like a dark cologne scent,
Right.
I do. And you know, I'm the dark, spicy tobacco, you know, darker type of scent. That's what I love, and that's why it's what drew me to your products. You know, I ordered some, and I think you had sent me one. I love the take on the barbershop scent.
Mhm.
And guys, I'm gonna tell you what, the Christmas scent, the Valhalla la la la, and Tim says he still has a couple available. If you don't have this in your collection, I would highly recommend it. When I put it in beard and walked in the room, my wife absolutely flipped. She absolutely loves it. And then the what was the other one, Chief? We were talking about the gold of Asgard
Gold of
is
Asgard.
so good, so
So I
well
got
done.
OG bottle.
that's OG right there.
OG.
That's the old blend too, Steve.
It's almost gone.
How did you like that? Was an old blend that I had before I standardized my blend.
I don't throw anything away.
No. I have a hard time doing that.
Mhm.
Well, you know, where did I go? Am I still there?
Now you are.
You
got
are now.
censored.
Yeah.
Why does this do this to me every damn night? I don't touch anything. My cousin
Dino,
came on. What is it?
I said, Dino, where are the chimes?
The Tim
Inside
Right.
joke, guys.
So my cousin came by and did best of video with me, and I kind of learned a lesson like Santa Tom did not too long ago. I brought 2 cents on that I really liked, and I had the weird categories. I don't know if you watched the video, but I had her decide. Like I gave her 2, and I said, "These are my top." Yeah, you decide. That was a
remember that.
smart move on my part, but yours.
That was
yours
last
won.
year, right?
Yeah, yours won. Yeah, it was like no contest, and I was like, I don't know which way this is going to go, but she was like, boom, Hogmanay.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
That was last year.
So I don't know if I want to do top 5, top 10 anymore, but because, you know, as much as we review, you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, you know,
Mhm.
but
it's hard, especially if you don't try other people's stuff. Like I mean, I've tried. I buy stuff from a lot of guys, just as like. There's guys on here that I've never bought from, and I feel bad. You know, there's guys that are startup that I'll buy from them. You know, there's guys like Voodoo. I'm a big Voodoo fan, just like a lot of other people are. So I buy from him a lot, and just you know, I for 2 reasons. One, I like to see, you know, it's something different that I haven't done, and 2, I want to make sure that it's something that I don't do. You know, I don't want to copy somebody's scent. You know, I've seen enough of that go on. That look at this, and it's like, okay, it sounds really familiar, but you know, to other stuff that I've seen or whatever. But I just tried, and it's hard, you know, like pipe tobacco vanilla. That's going to happen no matter what. I mean, that's been around a long time. But no, I want to make sure I don't come close to replicating somebody else's scent. I want mine to be as unique as possible. So that's why and I just, you know, some other guys just put some great products out there, and I'm a fan just like everybody else. I have a million freaking beard oils that I can't use everything.
It's funny you mention that. There's millions of combinations of scents, and when one company kind of mimics another company, there's almost no chance mathematically that could happen, you know, generically. So,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
Chris wants to know what. Yes, Chris wants to know what got you into beard products.
Well, so I've been rocking a beard for, I don't know, probably 5 years. Before it was goatee, it was, you know, whatever, but it's probably been a little bit more than 5 years. But honestly, I never really, I wore a little bit of oil, like whatever my wife would get me for my stocking for her Christmas. So it would be, you know, Duke Cannon whatever, whatever. I don't know. There was some other stuff. When I would go to like a craft show or like a farmer's market or something, and there was like a small batch guy sitting out there, I might buy from them, do something like that. But I never really was as, I don't know, as bougie as I am with my beard now. And I cut it recently. It was pretty, I had some pretty good length on it, just I wanted to give it a good reset because it was a heavy transparent trim, we'll call it. But before I used to just keep my beard really short, so I didn't really feel the need too much product. But man, at one time I got a batch from, I don't care how big the company is. I don't want to bash them. But I think I got a bottom of the barrel scent because it was so freaking strong. My eyes were burning. And I had stuff from them before. It's not a small batch company, but my eyes were burning, and I I had to wash it out immediately, and I couldn't even get it to freaking wash out. That's how strong the stuff was. And so I said, you know what? Why can't I just make this shit? Why can't I just get in and so I dabble around, and at the same time I'm the same thing with soap. Soap's a big part of my business. So I was always a big fan of natural soap and buying that, at Whole Foods would sell it in bulk, and you buy a piece of it, but it was per the ounce. And so I said, well, I want to just try making this stuff. I want to just try, screw around, experimenting. And I always thought I had a pretty good nose for scent combinations, and kind of like in Ratatouille, in the cartoon Ratatouille, where he has the where they put the flavors together, these weird things, and all of a sudden they make this beautiful flavor. I think I had that one of the, a sense of that for sniff testing and stuff. And because that's how I cook too. When I cook, when I make my sauce, for example, it's all on smell. So I know how much more oregano I need to add, how much more thyme I need to add, or garlic or sugar or whatever it is, just by the scent, to let it cook a little bit. And okay, I need to put this in. So yeah, I just started toying around with it. It'll be 3 years in May since the business has been open. I've been messing around with beard stuff and soap. I've made soap probably 10 to 12 months before I actually sold one bar. Spent a lot of time getting it right. It's never perfected, but to a point where I felt I might be able to do something with it. And same thing with the beard stuff. My first mistake was doing different blends for each profile. And that got to be very tedious. And thankfully I wasn't massively busy at the time, but it was hard to mix everything, because I pretty much, I'll pre-make a bunch of oils for a drop, but most of the time it's made fresh when I get the order in. So but yeah, I mean, that's what got me into it. Never thought I would start a business. Never thought I would build a website. Never thought it would build to what it is now. It's become a second full-time job. I'm very blessed with it.
Yeah. Real quick question, Santa, real quick. Larry, I'm pulling one of your cards, buddy. So you're down to 0. So, but
G, you want to answer this or ask this one, Chief, from G. Lou?
I don't know.
No, I'm saying you want to ask he's asking what the profile for Valhalla is. I don't have my glasses with me, so I can't read the lettering. Are there?
It's a juniper berry fir, spiced pear, clove. It's got a blend of natural essential oils and fragrance oils, but that's cool. Pretty much what I list in the profile. It's pretty nice.
It's good.
Yeah.
I had a question. When you're making a batch of brand new something rather, and you mess it up, or you don't like the scent, what do you do with all that product? Or soap doesn't come out right or something? What do you do with that? You just throw it away, or?
Well, the beard stuff, it's I don't think I've ever messed up beard stuff because I'll mix my carrier blend. I had it in the big in the big dispenser, which I'll do that. I'll mix a lot up when I'm making, like for February, I'll be making, probably 50 oils of each of the profiles, of the new ones. So I'll probably mix it in that. I just don't like leaving it in there too long because it doesn't have a seal on it. So I don't want it sitting in there too long. I want to keep the oil as fresh as I can. So, but otherwise, I mix my carrier blend into just a big gallon jug, and so it's sealed, and then I just pump into my bottles, and I mix my fragrance individually. So, like if for this drop, I might make 5 oils of every other profile that I have. So those are usually only about a month, and I'll keep them in my little mini fridge. So I try not to make too much ahead of time. Try to keep it as fresh as possible. So I don't think I've ever messed up the beard stuff. The soap, I make test batches usually. I don't do what I should do, which is like a tiny half of loaf test batch. So I just go for the full thing because I'm thinking, well, if this turns out good, then that's 9 bars of soap. So
Right.
I'm always thinking profit and waste at the risk side of it. Then if I screw up the loaf, then I screw up the loaf, and I screw up that much product. So if it gets too bad, if it has some fragrances or essential oils that don't behave well in soap, I usually just throw it away. If it set up kind of quickly and it looked kind of weird, I'll cut it up, cure it, see how it goes, and then I'll use it myself. I've never had any soap that I kept that had lye pockets or anything like that. I let my soap cure a minimum of 30 days. That's a policy for me by itself. It's probably fine after 2 weeks, but the 30 days helps it harden more, and it just makes sure that everything processes out. So
Right.
it's a minimum for me. But usually I just use it for myself.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, because I always wanted to ask that question, but I always forget.
And I still mess stuff up. It hurts, man. It hurts when I throw out a batch of soap.
Yeah, it's money. Yeah,
It is. It is, but it also failure.
Dino,
I don't like
I'm going to
failure.
throw it over to you in a second, but I think we got enough people in here. I'm having a grandbaby, and I told you everybody I was going to throw out the gender. So throw some guesses out there. Is it going to be baby girl, baby boy? And I'll tell you guys in a couple minutes. So back to you, Dino.
It's definitely a boy.
So I gotta tell you, I've tried your products. Your natural deodorant was the first one I ever tried, and it impressed the heck out of me, man. Like, do you ever get told like people can't believe how long one of these lasts? Because
I have heard that. I appreciate it, Dino. I do, because the deodorant's been a sore subject for me, because when I first put it out there, it was in the summer and I had more wax content in it, and it was just harder.
Sure.
And I had some tweaking to go through, and I there were a couple, in a couple groups that some people, making comments and stuff, but but I use that as good feedback. It depends on how it's put out there. If someone's going to go out there and talk junk, just say it to me, message me. Don't say, hey, it's the best thing I've ever had, and then go on and say, oh, this sucks. Just tell me straight out. But it's taken some tweaking. I might still tweak a little bit more, but I think we're like the one that you have where you're at Knit Hoggers. I think I finally got it to where it's a little bit softer and it'll still ship okay. I'm afraid of something melting down in the summertime and somebody gets a shit thing, and I'll send them a new one, but it's going to do the same thing because it's 190 degrees out here.
Right. So I know I started, it was probably about 5 or 6 months ago when I first talked to you, and I got the Rise of the Dragger, which, by the way, this is like one of my favorite scent profiles. I'm a cherry guy. I love this. But I got that. I got a couple others, and it blew me away because I was always used to buying the commercial deodorant, right? And it always seems like, well, one stick lasts you maybe like 2 weeks, right? I'm not kidding you. I think every one that I've had has lasted almost 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's and it's awesome. Yeah. And another thing probably that people don't understand is when you go from using a commercial deodorant to a natural one, there's that detoxing period. So, when I first started using it, oh yeah, I was sweating a little bit more, but once my body got used to it, boom, I didn't have any problems. And I think that's an issue with people is they don't realize there's that period of time where you have to get used to wearing the natural stuff and your
Mhm.
body has to adjust to it. But man, I absolutely love it. I know that every time you do a drop, the first thing everybody always probably goes for the soaps or the oils, but my first thing I do is I hit the deodorant because I'm like, man, I got to get some deodorant. I got to get that, And speaking of that, I think one thing that was probably awesome that you did on your last drop was making limits for what people could buy, like the quantity, because you hear all the time before it was, man, you get on Valhalla's website and 2 minutes after their drop, it's everything sold out.
Mhm.
So you doing that, I think that really was really cool for the community because now more people can try it, and that way you don't have somebody hoarding it and trying to resell stuff. So
Oh,
I think that was an awesome move on your part.
yeah, I taught, thank you for that. I tossed
Hmm.
a lot back and forth with some other owners
Hmm.
and my wife, and because, I don't want to sound like a dick either. Like, hey, I don't appreciate
Right.
you buying my
Sure.
stuff, but I
Sure.
gained a lot of new customers this last
Yeah.
drop when I said, and I was serious. I did cancel.
Right.
There was one order that I did cancel some items in the order
Right.
because it was a double dip on the limits, and I just give me
Right.
a few days. Just give it a few
Right.
days. People discover it. Hey, I was able to pick some stuff up, and then if you want to come after that and buy some stuff up, that's fine. At least you gave me a week.
Right. Right.
And I can't, the deodorants I could only make, because I've got to make the soap way ahead of time. Like yesterday,
Right.
I just got 24 loaves of soap. I want
Nice.
to try to make 60 more loaves by the end of this weekend, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. But
Woo, that's some
Right.
work.
yeah, it's all day. 24 loaves is an
Right.
all day deal for me.
Right. Right.
But like the deodorants, I'll make those after I know all my soap has been made. Then I'll go and start making. And deodorants are a pain in the ass. They're freaking messy.
Right.
They take a while to do it, and so I might put out. Usually, I'm putting out about 40 deodorants of each profile when they go out,
Right.
and
Right.
I'll hold the stuff back. I'll hold about 5 of each back.
Right.
That way, if the
Right.
post office screwed up, I have some to ship,
Got some. Right.
or I've got some local people or friends of mine from New York that don't go on my website. They just message
Mhm.
me and say, "Hey, I'm ready for some soap." That way, I have
Right.
it, and then I could just, you know, have stuff to
Right.
give to sell on the side.
The last thing I was going to talk about product wise is your shampoo, your beard wash. I got to tell you, so to me, this is a one step because all you have is wash, but it almost feels like there's a conditioning property to your wash. But I'll tell you, it's a hard time when I look and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use conditioner. I'm just going to use like a straight up wash. The handies either goes for your stuff or Hemp Wizard stuff,
Mhm.
and I can't separate you two. I'm like, man, because I've got asked before, who's better, who's the one or two. I'm like, you don't understand, man. They're both on the same level. This stuff is awesome. I've never when I use your beard wash when I'm just doing one step, I never feel like the beard's not conditioned. So I'm like, there's got to be some conditioning property in there because it
Mhm.
does. It doesn't. It's got a little bit of condition to it. So fantastic job on the beard
Thank you.
wash, man. I dig it. Yep.
Yeah, those are the two in my shower. I use Mike's also. I have his and I have mine.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
We do have
Mhm.
a few more questions, Tim. Jacob would like to know, did Mad Viking have any influence on your company's direction?
No, actually, it's funny. I didn't hear Mad Viking until after I had already started, and I was Googling stuff to see where my products were coming up in the Google search. And then I started seeing Mad Viking stuff come. I'm like, well, if I would have known they were out there, I would have bought from them. I still haven't bought from them. I still want to
Right.
try them. But no, they had not. And they look like they got some pretty cool stuff though, because I looked on their site, and so I might make an order from them at some point just to see how they are. I remember there's a mess or a question from Jacob too. Asked where I was from in Arizona. It was way earlier in the chat.
Yes.
Gilbert, Arizona.
Mm.
Gilbert. Okay.
Yeah.
John Covington, who's very active in the bearded community, would like to know. He says, I'm real sensitive to bar soap. It can sometimes cause my eczema to flare. Tony, the Brickman, suggested I try your stuff. What would you recommend?
Well, it's everybody's different, John. I actually have eczema, so that's the reason. One of the reasons I got into natural soap, because not all the crap and stuff that's in, like the ivories and the Dove. Even though it's Dove sensitive skin, if you read the ingredients, I know I can't pronounce half of the crap, but my
Right.
stuff, my stuff, just like in any of these other natural soap makers, there's a lot of great soap people that I've come across that I think you'll find that most of them, and it's probably going to be more what you're allergic to, if you're allergic to something, because if you're doing, everybody says, well, just do a 100% essential oil soap. Well, that could be, but you could also be like I am. I'm allergic to pretty much every kind of evergreen type tree, even though it doesn't mess with my eczema. It has a possibility. Like I have several profiles that are 100% essential oil soaps, and then I have some that are, it's about half and half. Some that are essential oil and fragrance oils, but I use, the best fragrance oils that I could find. I do a lot of research on what I'm buying. I just don't buy some weird stuff. They're reputable brands, and make sure it's safe for soap. I use the safe limits of everything in both my soap and beard products. So it's kind of just a trial and error, and see what what works well for you. I know Athelstan is 100% essential oil soap. It has that has a little bit of grit in it, but that has some rosemary and stuff in it that is good. It has some good healing properties. So you message me offline too, and I could try to guide you and help you. I have no problem. I'm getting messages all the time, so I don't mind helping out. I appreciate you.
Yeah, John will reach out. He's very active. He's a good guy in the community. I think we've answered your question, and we're doing it right now, Ray. If this is a question, if this is a comment, it says, can we speak about the beard wash and the best beard and body soaps? I think we're kind of doing that right now. The last one I have right now, well, two of them, is, do you have any woodsy, earthy scent profiles?
I do. Yeah. For the beard stuff, Berserker's Fury, and Utasita are two very earthy, woodsy profiles. They're 100% essential oils for both of those. Same thing in the soap. And in the soap, another one is Muspelheim. That is also a sweet, smoky, earthy one. That is another 100% essential oil soap. Website shows that they're sold out, but again, I have to do that because I got the hoarder crazies out there that buy a lot of stuff up. So I got a secret stash that for new people that want to try stuff, so it's.
I've been noticing that in the soap, because I'm just kind of getting into the soaps, but man, yeah, people buy them soaps up.
I don't know. I don't know when you're ever going to use that much freaking soap.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I God bless them. It's a collecting thing. It's I think I've had people say, I collect my own boxes just for memory type things of what I've done, but there's people that collect the boxes too.
Show that box.
The new one, because there was a question about some new stuff, but
yes,
this one's going to be my baby, you guys. This is a Fenrir. Oh, it's backwards, but Fenrir breaker of chains.
You wonder why people go crazy and buy it all. Look at that.
Right.
And that's all AI, man. This is AI art. I just tell it what I want it to do. And then, and then a lot of this is I do Canva for the rest of it and all that stuff. But
right.
But the scent profile, ginger ale, black jasmine, bourbon, and cologne. This one.
Yeah.
But see, this is a new box, so my people that are used to it, I'm not used to glossy, so I tried a new distributor. We'll see how people like them.
I like it.
I like the matte.
I like it too,
but it's pretty cool.
Right.
Then I've got
Colors are just beautiful.
this will be a collab. I know there's a question about a collab. This one's going to be called Surtur's Cleanse, and this is a collab with Dwight Kirkpatrick. He's pretty active in the soap and beard community, and the guy loves orange. He's a freaking patriot, awesome guy.
Yeah.
Love the guy, and he just loves orange. So I called this one orange, and mahogany.
Nice.
So I've got a couple other things in there, but it's orange and mahogany, teakwood,
Right.
and some other things. But it's
Right.
turned out really nice. That's the soap that I'm making right now.
Right. You know, I'll never forget the first time I tried to buy stuff off of you. I didn't know that your stuff like people were that crazy about soap, right? You know, I'm like, oh, you know, it's soap. You know, he's got a drop. You know, and I'll never forget that. Like, I missed the drop by like 5 minutes at the most, and every soap that I wanted was gone. And I'm like, wait a minute, did he not update it or whatever? And I remember I reached out to you. I'm like, hey man, I'm looking for Rise of the Dragon soap. Like, is this? And you're like, man, you're like, give me like a couple. I think it was like a week or two. You're like, I'll have more. I'm like, okay, man, you know, but I could not believe it. I'm like, it's all gone, you know.
It's a blessing and a curse. You know, I
Right.
can't thank the community of people and you guys that do support that. I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, it does mean the world to me. I'm not a greedy person by any means. I give out more stuff than most people would even know.
Right.
But like this last drop, I had 1,000. I count. Obviously, I have to count, but because I was paying my daughter and telling her the if she would have actually sat down and done as much as I wanted her to do, she could have made $400 just boxing soaps.
Yeah.
I told her I'd give her a quarter of soap.
Right.
I'll give her 25 cents of soap. I mean, it's piecework, but when you talk about all you're doing is dropping a bar of soap, assembling a box, dropping a bar of soap in a box, you could have $400 in about 2 hours.
Right.
I'm coming to your house.
Yeah. And so she missed out on most of the opportunity. She did make some money, but she couldn't keep up with me. You know,
Jeez, that's a lot of soap.
But so I had 1,032 soaps on my site for the last drop, and within 24 hours, I would say probably 80% of it was gone.
Wow,
that's a good thing.
Wow. Yeah, it is.
It is a good thing. It is. I hate it because I wish I could keep stuff in stock because I've seen people. I gave up on this brand because I can never get anything, and and it's like someone that's never tried before, and if people follow, just message me, see what I got left, instead of trashing me. I work a full-time job, a pretty demanding full-time job,
right?
And I do this on the side, and so I work my ass off. I barely take a break.
Right.
So I try. I wish I could keep more in stock.
Well, it's Santa's off season, so maybe he can have some of the toy making elves come down.
That's right.
And start making soaps.
That's
that way
right.
they can help you out some.
I know it'd be perfect.
Undercut your
I bet
daughter.
you they would appreciate a quarter of soap.
Pay them 15 cents.
Right.
Well, we had a bunch of people put what they thought. Are we waiting till the end, or
I could do it now?
Do it now.
Do we now?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So
shall we tell you our guesses? Shall we tell you our guesses? What do you guys think?
Boy, for sure. He slipped. His slip was too uncovering.
I'm going with boy too.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the boy.
Okay, it's Camden James.
Yes, nice.
Heck
Congratulations, Chief.
Heck
that was awesome.
We're very, very happy, and everything seems to be going really good. We had a little bit of a scare about 3 weeks ago, but it wasn't anything to do with the baby. Thank God. I left work. My wife left the house. We just rushed to the hospital. Everything was fine. So it scared me. I got a little emotional in the car on the way. I was like, no, this ain't going to happen, and quick prayer and all that stuff. But everything seems to be going really good.
Awesome.
So Chief,
before
when Camden's born, are you going to have one of those little beards that you can get? So when he comes out of the womb, you're going to put the beard on him and take pictures, because we got to know it's baby Chief at that
no
time.
But I did see a scally vest and outfit. I was like, dude,
Right.
my little
Right.
dude's gonna be styling.
I've got
Mhm.
Valhalla onesies on my website.
Oh,
Oh, right there,
Did
man.
That was for one of my customers that had a baby, and I said, oh, you got to do onesies, so I did it through my
That's awesome.
third party
Right.
company.
Tim,
So
I don't know if I ever told you why I bought this.
No,
I didn't.
I think you had mentioned something about but go ahead.
I bought that just for the label. I'm just 100% out there. I bought it for the label and the name because my wife is Scottish, and it's New Year's Eve. It's Hogmanay. It's New Year's Eve for Scottish.
Yep.
And I said, I got to buy that just for her. And we got married in Scotland when I was stationed over there. And I bought it just for the bottle and the name and ended up loving it. And it was #1 last year on my top 10.
That's freaking fantastic.
Truth be told, no holding back.
Right.
I remember you telling me that because your wife was Scottish.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that was one of my first go arounds with actually putting something different than my stupid face on the label.
I love it. Mm.
I appreciate that. That's an OG one too with that bottle.
Oh, the gold pops,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah. So Vikings, have you ever put beads like the Viking heads and skulls in your beard? Have you ever done
No,
that?
my wife would make fun of me if I did it.
Dude,
I have them. I definitely have them. I was actually going to start giving them out with some orders just here and there, but I don't. Some guys that order, I do know they have beards.
Yeah.
But I even thought about it. I'm like, man, you know what? I should toss one randomly in a loaf of soap and cut it all up and put it out there that if somebody found a bead in their soap, then they'll win a prize, like the freaking Willy Wonka
Two
ticket.
problems with that. You got to get the tool and send them the tool. And then if it falls down the drain and clogs their drain up and they have to pay a plumber, they're going to be mad as hell.
Exactly. But it would make them use their soap. So they probably wouldn't buy 7,000 bars of soap at once.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
put some in. I'll put like duals in, and then I'll cross them over, and I'll have one hanging in the middle, and I'll go to work like that, and it's fun. It's just it's not really good on your hair at all. So I don't do it that often.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
I couldn't rock that.
No, in Tim's luck, what would happen is one of the guys that would buy 70 bars of soap 10 years later would be like, man, I found the bead.
And then the soap is green because the beads aren't real freaking silver or anything.
Yeah.
Ray says he remembers when Tim told him I wanted something else other than my stupid face on it. I guess that must be
personal.
Well, that's my logo is my face. When I gave it to the artist, I gave him I gave him a picture of myself. I gave him a picture of Kratos from God of War. Mm-hmm. And I gave him up close of my eye color so that he could dial the eye color into the logo, and then he came up with that. It's a very detailed design. So when I try to do anything, like I can't do my hats, I can't do them embroidered with the logo because there's too much design on it, and there's certain things that I can't do with it. I've had a lot of people tell me, there's way too much detail. I can't recreate that. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of why I went to the words only logo stuff too, and make some things easier.
You look like Kratos.
Yeah. That's how I shaved my beard. I put the picture of it. That was, I just a big fan of that video.
I love that.
It's so freaking well done.
I like the dude. He's all like raw.
Yeah. Well, the rage too. The rage. That's a big part of
just
my
like
life.
Santa Tom. He's always raw.
I could see that. I could see Santa Tom pretty well.
There was a time in my life, but not anymore.
Yeah. I thankfully have calmed down a lot. A lot of different things. Yeah. Well, you know what we talked about early on that my dad was taken from me at 16 by a drunk driver, and so I carried a lot of hate for years, many years, and that I got myself got into drinking. Did I drive when I shouldn't have a couple times? Yeah, probably, for sure. Should I listen to my own advice? I should have. But it got to a point where it just got out of hand, and I needed it to go to sleep at night. Never did it during work. It was always afterward. But in order for my brain to stop, because I worked for an engineering firm for 8 years. I'm a project manager now I handle multi-million-dollar construction projects. So my mind is always, and I'm very particular about what I do. Like I said, failure, making mistakes is a big, it takes its toll on me. And so I try very hard not to let that stuff happen. But the consequence of that is the squirrel cage in the brain that's constantly thinking and moving and making sure that I don't miss something, that I don't forget something. And then that drinking was hiding it from my wife. Advil PM, and if the gin's sitting in the garage in the summer, it's 130 degrees. So you're taking swigs of that. And so I decided I got to get sober. My wife said, you either do this or, we're gone. And so, it'll be May 5th. It'll be 5 years sober. And, I'm trying not to look back, and I thank God I don't have the urge to do it, but man, that darkness that I carried was real, man. And the thing that really did it for me was part of my AA program was to go through your resentments and make amends, and going through the step work. And I wrote a letter to the guy. I never gave it to him because my sponsor at the time said it wouldn't be a good idea. I just Googled the guy. I think I found where he lived and everything in New York. The last time I knew where he lived wasn't going to be a better outcome when I was younger. Thankfully, I didn't go to his address at that point because it was not going to be a good outcome. But this time I just wrote the letter, and in the letter it said, everything you did, this is what happened to my family and me because of this, but I forgive you. And I believe it. In my heart, I actually forgive the guy, and I believe it. And in doing that, I know people say they have their God moments and burning bush. I didn't see any, apparition of Jesus flying across the sky. But what I did feel was that those demons that had their talons in me for 28 years, those demons lifted and freed my soul. And I still get angry. I still get irritated, but I'm telling you, it's like 100 times less than where it was carrying all that weight. So
it's very powerful writing it down.
It is.
It does something to your brain.
But you have to believe it. You have to believe it. It's one thing if I do, I'm going to do this just to get through a step. But no, I actually have to. I had to believe it. And, to say that was tough for me. It was really tough. So. But I still believe it. I still believe it to this day. And, that's the only thing that freed me.
Right.
Congratulations, man. That's a hell of a thing to get through. And I know that feeling you're talking about too. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you guys down.
No.
It hits me. It hits me pretty hard.
That is powerful, man. That is just so powerful. And man, that's a testimony that can help others, Right. Absolutely, man. Golly. Hats off to you, brother.
We just went through New Year's, and I enjoy New Year's, but 8:00 on New Year's Eve is when my dad passed. So it was like, I want to enjoy New Year's, but then like 8:00, 8:15 comes around and I'm like, shit, So yeah. But,
yeah. And it's been so long, but it's one of those things like you could watch a movie like we were watching, I can't remember the show that we were watching. Me and my wife were sitting there watching. Oh, it's Ted Lasso. What a great series. But they were talking about, he was talking about his dad. His dad had killed himself when he was 16. But he said one thing he never got to say to his dad was how much of a good dad he was.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that one hit me. I'm sitting there, I'm freaking trying not to let my wife see the tears because I'm always making jokes to her about, yeah, you're really crying over this on TV and stuff. But
Yeah.
man, it just really hits me because as a 16-year-old, my dad thought he was Elvis, always joking around. We didn't have much money at all. People always looked at, we always had the shitty cars that he kept running. The people at church, well, I don't go to Catholic church that much anymore, but the Catholic church community always looked down on us like we were scumbags. My dad worked 3 jobs. He was killed doing his 3rd job by that drunk driver. But the guy would give his shirt off his back to anybody. And it was probably the only shirt that he had that didn't have a hole in it. You know what I mean? And he would give it to anybody. And, the guy was my hero, but I never told him that.
Yeah.
I never told him how much of a hero he was. And, just how good of a dad, working those 3 jobs. He had 2 knees that were needed full knee replacement, but he always squat down and let me pitch to him. He took time to show me things, and it just, cherish those moments because, in a split second, you get that knock on the door at 3:30 in the morning and you don't get to go back to that.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's, it's regrets, a lot of regrets, but, I think he knows.
Yeah. A little caveat to that. My son was on a video with me last year. I'm not sure who it was for, but I said something similar like that. I kept my dad's voicemail, and I would every once in a while I'd listen to it, and it's gone now. But I told my son in the video, I said, I love you. I respect you as a man. I said, I wish there was something that I could see my dad, saying I love you and, having that on a video or, something I could hear. But I told him that on video. I said, I want to, because this is going to be on YouTube forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I said, I love you, so you can always go back and, hear your dad say, I love you. So.
But people don't, that's so awesome that you did that because people don't understand how important that is. Because like I said, we didn't have a lot of money. So we didn't have camcorders and, all that stuff until something uncovered a couple of years ago. My sister, I don't talk to, she, for her drama, for her social media, she put this video clip out there of my parents' 25th anniversary. And it was the first time I seen my dad animated in 26 years or whatever it was at the time. And this is at the time we were still talking. I had made amends to her, which I didn't really do anything wrong to her. She quit talking to me because of how I voted. Honestly, that's not even bullshit. But after we kind of had started talking, then she posted this video and I'm like, hey, can I get a copy of that? Can I, my buddy in New York, he'll come over. He knows a guy that owns a studio. He'll come over and make it. I'm not sending this in the mail. Like all these excuses. And I'm like, how long is the video? Is it 30 minutes? Is it an hour? What is it? She just posted a 15-second clip. And then she got so pissed at me because I was asking this stuff. She started getting nasty with me. And of course, my choice words came out and I don't talk to her. But she has this video that's out there that I've never seen the full video. My mom hasn't seen it. For the love of God, it's my mom's video. My mom is more destroyed than anybody.
Right.
And, but to see, just like you said, to have that video of you just saying, I love you to your son is so freaking precious, man.
Right.
So precious.
Right.
Yep.
So how do you follow that up?
You don't.
There was something in here. I think Ray says if you guys are interested, he doesn't remember. He says if you guys are interested in Tim Tim went more in depth on some other video. He was a guest, and he says he can't remember with who though.
There was a podcast I did. The guys were called Violent Monk, and they had asked me some questions about that, and I think they've dissolved the Violent Monk. So it might still be on YouTube. If you Google Violent Monk, you might find it. We did a 2-part series on it. because when they brought that out of me, I don't mind sharing it because it's healing still to me to talk about it. It's finally I did it without crying this time, but it's still, it's healing. So it's healing is good. But we did 2-part. They were so intrigued with how I brought out some of the stuff and went deeper into, what I do with my alcoholism and, going to meetings and things like that. But yeah, it was called The Violent Monk. I don't know. It might still be out there. I know they dissolved and they kind of went and they're doing their own thing, but it was fun to do that one too. I don't do it for attention. I don't want anybody to ever think about that. I see these people posting, all this, to get the sad face emojis and the people say, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry. That's not what it's about. It's, like you asked me very beginning, just started off. If you were to say that 20 seconds to say that to the world, that you took the most important thing away from me in my entire life because of that decision that you made. And it still affects me to this day,
Right.
So I don't do it for people's sympathy. I've listened to things like this and something like Ted Lasso, something that it's healing. Somebody hears something, they say, oh shit, I might not do that. Or man, maybe I'll reach out and talk to this guy, or maybe there's something I could do or whatever. You never know who you're going to help, who it's cool.
Right. Yep.
It's
nice that full-grown men can sit and talk about things like this. It's important and deep,
Yeah, no, I love doing that. So much better than being stupid. As a young adult, it was more important out there drinking and all that stuff. I don't look down on any of that stuff. It's just I have different things.
Right. Yeah, I did my share in the service, man. It's all, water under the bridge.
Yeah.
That was a typical.
Just thankfully nobody died that I know of, and that things that are right. You have the rest of your life to do good things to make up for the bad things that you might have done. At least in my
absolutely.
Case. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. And you're spreading positivity, which is super cool, man.
Yes, indeed.
I'm trying. I appreciate that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Dino, ask him the question about the bands, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I kind of know, but if you could go see any band, let's say a private viewing for you because you don't like crowds. So you get to pick one band, dead or alive, any band in the world. You can have them play for you at your house. No interruptions by any people. Who would it be?
Linkin Park for sure.
Wow.
Yep.
Linkin Park.
Right.
I it's easy to say Metallica. I love Metallica. There's the classics. I don't know that I'm deep into classic rock, like Beatles and all that. I enjoy their music, but I don't think I would relate as much to them.
Right.
Where, Linkin Park, that just something it does to me, that the music, and again, it's emanating from Chester Bennington. I know he was in a lot of pain, but his lyrics came from pain, and just the way the music goes through my ears and what that does to the rest of my body would be that would be pretty amazing. I might actually go in a crowd,
to go see him.
To see him,
right. So
I'd stand up to the back, like in the grass and the bleachers.
So one last question for you, because you're a video game guy. So this kind of could, but Thor or Zeus? You got the god of thunder, or you've got Zeus throwing the lightning bolts. Who you got?
If they're battling?
Yep.
Oh, Thor would crush his freaking skull in.
We got to take
if Zeus
card, Chief. We got to take his card, Chief.
if Zeus is throwing lightning bolts, Thor absorbs it. The lightning goes. He draws the light. He's the god of thunder. So he's taking.
Way to go, Dino.
Bolts.
Yeah, but.
And he's just going to crush his freaking skull with Mjolnir.
It's kind of a trick question because Zeus is Zeus, man. Sorry.
but Thor's going to eat those like icicles.
Just remember, Spartans won over the Vikings in Deadliest Warrior, so Zeus is going to do the same to Thor, man.
Zeus didn't have the spear and the physique that those guys have. Vikings were a little more dad bod.
Where's my backup, Chief? Come on.
You set that question up
he's still thinking about eating lightning bolts like icicles.
Right.
I am from back east, so I do know what icicles are too. Now, if they were yellow icicles, I would probably stay away from them.
They don't taste good.
No.
Put a little tahini on them.
Yeah.
Right.
A little salty.
Right. But I guess the last thing I want to say is, man, I'm so glad you came on, dude. I'm wanting to get you on here. I've been talking to you about a year, and I want to tell you this, man. I really do value the thing that I can call you my brother, man. And I'm gonna buy some more stuff from you soon. I'm gonna spotlight you too. But what an awesome man this guy is here, and I'm so glad I got the opportunity to talk to you and be on live with you, man.
No, I appreciate that a ton, Dino. It's not even about buying stuff, just
Yep.
kind words, and you're such a good person in the community, man. It's never about that. If it was ever about that,
Right.
it's not worth doing it then,
I just got to get enough. I just got to get enough so I can review you the whole week, because I've only got like three cent profiles, so I got to get a couple more so I can go whole week for
especially when these new ones come out.
Right.
I might have to sneak a couple in there for you to spread some love about.
Chief, what's your closing thoughts, brother?
Man, what a good show. What a good show. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank you for taking time out to hang out with us three guys. And man, like I said, great show. I appreciate you. I appreciate my brothers. Thank you both up there. I love you both. What a good show, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And I didn't get a chance to say this in the beginning. I think you said you and Santa. I know you are, but Santa's also a veteran. I know Chad was in here. Chad Evans. I have one of the biggest regrets in my life was not going through with what I wanted to do with the military, because my dad and my uncles were all in the service, and I just have the utmost respect for all of you guys as veterans. If I could go back and do it, the one thing I would absolutely do is go. I wanted to be 10th Mountain Division, Fort Drum. I was all ready. I just didn't go to my enlist date because of circumstances with my, we'll say prior, before my wife now. So I let things hold me back that shouldn't have hold me back. That was a dream of mine. I wanted to be a leader on the battlefield. I truly wanted to do that. And so I have nothing but respect for all you guys that served and put your lives on hold to make sure that we all have what we have now. So thank you. Just wanted to say that. And thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for the support of the veterans. And Tom was Army, I was Navy, just shy of 24 years in the Navy. And I always shout out the wives, and the husbands, and, they got to stay at home and fix the washing machine and unclog the toilets and, take care of the cars. And they don't get a day off, so it's a freaking family thing, dude. It truly is. You're out to sea for 6-7 months, and the wife's raising the kids, putting the kids to bed. It's, they do way, way more than we do. So I shout them out as much as I can. So
absolutely.
And thank you for that, Tom. Yep.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you, Chief. Tim, it is such an honor to finally get to meet you. I know I've chatted back and forth with you, man. It's like Dino says, it's nice for me, and I don't say this as cliche. It's nice to count you as a brother now, and I look forward to getting on your website tonight and grabbing some of this beard wash that I'm looking forward to getting and some other stuff. So look forward to it. Look at Dino. But Tim, what an inspiration you are, sir. And I hope that if some of you guys are just jumping on, hit this, hit the rewatch button. It's just very, very inspirational. It's always nice to get to know people in the bearded community. And it's like my wife and I always talk about, no matter what you think you're going through, There's always somebody going through a lot more or has gone through a lot more that can help you out what you're going through. And Tim, you got a powerful testimony, brother, and we appreciate you sharing that with us. And guys, don't forget the Beard with Respect starts in about 30 minutes. Please go check them out. We want to say thank you to Tim from Valhalla Beard and Body. Please go check out his website, help support him and his beautiful family. And guys, Tim, what I like to end every show with, I don't know if you ever watch any of my stuff or watch all of our stuff, but I like to end everything with remember that this world could use a little kindness, so be kind to one another. And as always, keep Christmas in your heart year-round. Guys, appreciate it. Tim, if you don't mind sticking around just a little bit, we'd love to talk to you just a little bit more. But good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.